Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger in the brain that helps regulate various functions and behaviors. It plays a crucial role in the reward and pleasure system, motivation, movement, mood, and cognitive processes. Dopamine is released in the brain when certain events or experiences are perceived as rewarding or pleasurable. It acts as a signal to reinforce behaviors that are associated with positive outcomes, encouraging the brain to seek out similar experiences in the future. This release of dopamine creates a sense of pleasure, satisfaction, and motivation. However, excessive levels of dopamine or dysregulation of the dopamine system can have negative effects. Here are a few examples. Addiction. Excessive dopamine release, particularly in response to drugs or addictive substances, can lead to addiction. Drugs such as cocaine, amphetamines, and opioids can artificially stimulate the release of dopamine, creating a euphoric sensation. Over time, this can lead to tolerance, dependence, and addiction as the brain becomes desensitized to normal levels of dopamine and requires increasing amounts to achieve the same effect. Psychiatric disorders. Dopamine dysregulation has been implicated in various psychiatric disorders, including schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. In schizophrenia, there is an overactivity of dopamine receptors, leading to symptoms such as hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized thinking. In bipolar disorder, abnormal dopamine levels are associated with manic episodes characterized by elevated mood, increased energy, and impulsive behavior. Impaired movement. Dopamine is also involved in regulating movement and motor control. Insufficient dopamine production or impaired dopamine receptors can result in movement disorders such as Parkinson's disease. In Parkinson's, the loss of dopamine-producing cells in a specific brain region leads to tremors, rigidity, and difficulty with coordination and movement. Impaired reward processing. Excessive dopamine release or dysfunction in the reward system can lead to problems with reward processing. This can manifest as impulsivity, seeking immediate gratification, and difficulty in delaying gratification. It may contribute to addictive behaviors, compulsive gambling, and other impulse control disorders. It's important to note that dopamine is a complex neurotransmitter, and its effects on the brain and behavior are not fully understood. The role of dopamine in various disorders and behaviors is a topic of ongoing research. While excessive dopamine can have negative consequences, appropriate dopamine levels are essential for normal brain function and well-being.